There you go.
Yay. Okay. Thank you, Rochelle.
You're welcome.
So Rochelle will get it up and posted for you guys, because I don't know why the last 2 weeks it will not. I get it. I go to my YouTube, I try to upload it, and my YouTube will not load the thing. So it's more YouTube versus the actual like uploading process. So I'm not sure. Yes, the end of bonus season hangover is real. It's so real. All right, you guys, do we have anybody new here with us today? Anybody new? Just kidding. Any newbies here? I feel so new. That's cool, Hunter. I get it. Listen, I get it. I love that. I'm new. Hi, Christina. I'm Christina Tammy. Rochelle also hosts with me. So you'll get us both today. Perfect. So we're going to go over a couple things, you guys, because first and foremost, it's the beginning of December. So if you have not planned your month this month, I really want you to take the time to do that. We kind of touched on it last week of things that you should plan for. So I'm just going to run a real quick list right now, because I don't want to take up too much time and overlap too much. So planning your goals, planning your PPA, planning your trial packs, planning how much financially you want to make. When's the last time you wrote down how much you made last month? And y'all, I want you to look at it not only in the weekly form, I want you to go through and actually add up what you made for the month, because sometimes doing the weekly, it can look so small. And when you then add up your month, you're like, dang, that actually paid this bill, or that actually could have done or did this for us, or, oh my gosh. But when you're looking at maybe the smaller amounts, like when you're first starting out, maybe the $25 or the $32 or the $5 that didn't transfer this week, but will next week, you look at that and you're like, well, dang, like I can't even go to McDonald's now. Like, you know what I mean? For the family, because things are so expensive. But when you add it all up at the end, you're like, oh my gosh, I made $100 this month. Like, that's so good. That actually could pay for X, Y, and Z, right? So I love looking at the weekly, but I also think that it's so important to look at your month as well, right? Think about it. When you budget for the month, you budget your bills for the month. You're not budgeting weekly bills, right? I mean, unless you are, then more power to you. But majority of it, when you are setting budgets, you are setting a budget for the month. Right. So make sure that you, in the beginning stages of building your business, building your weekly pay, building your paychecks, you are taking the time to actually add it all up, right? And love on that month amount. So get a financial goal in mind. Like, when's the last time you actually said, I want to make this much per month? Because guess what? If it's scaring you to say that, those are some like blocks and mindset things you need to work on to get there. So if you're all like, yeah, I want to make $2,000 with my business a month, but then when you really sit in it, you're like, oh my gosh, $2,000 a month really scares me. Like, what am I going to do with that money? How am I going to get that money? You're already not going to get that, because you are already self-sabotaging without even knowing it. That's something that I do. So hi, hello, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. Taylor Swift just came out with like the perfect song. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm like, thank you. Gave me an anthem. Sometimes I feel like it's just like playing behind me, like one of those things. But anyways, so I can self-sabotage without realizing I'm self-sabotaged. Nicole, why does it say recording paused? Does it say recording is paused for anybody else, or is it just me? Okay, perfect. I think it's because I paused it on my end. Cool. So anyways, make sure that you are getting your goals that don't necessarily scare you too much to the point where you're like, I don't even know how I'm going to get there, that you don't even try, but goals that are also like a little like out of your comfort zone, right? So how much PPA you want this month, how many promoters you want to enroll, how many customers you want to enroll, how many trial packs you want, that financial goal, so on and so forth. So make sure you're planning for that. So when we do this first time block of planning, make sure you plan for that. Okay.
One of the best, oops, sorry, I just want to add something. One of the best ways to set new goals for the new month is to look at what you did last month. And so at the beginning of each month, I'm going to do it right now because I have not done it yet. I like to go into my Cloud Office. I like to look at what my PPA was last month. I like to look at what my volume was. I like to look at how many samples I got out, how many promoters I enrolled, how many customers. Like I look at all the numbers, everything that I did. I do like a little audit in my Cloud Office, if you will. And then my goal each month is to be better than I was the prior month. So if I got out, let's just say 10 samples last month, I might set a goal this month of like 15 to 20. I'm going to push myself just a little bit more to get out some more samples. If I enrolled 5 customers, maybe this month I want to enroll 10, right? Like I set things that are realistic. I don't, if I sent out 10 samples last month, I'm not going to try to send like 50. You know what I mean? That's a huge jump. I set realistic goals for myself based off of what I did last month. So if you haven't, go in and do that. Like look at what you did last month and then base this month's goals around that.
I love that. And by the way, thank you, Adele. I did not know about updating my YouTube. Like I just go on the browser. So that's cool. I'm going to YouTube that, how to YouTube upload. I'm going to YouTube how to update my YouTube. All right. Say that fast 17 times. Okay. So for the babes that we have here that are newer, I'm going to go over this really quickly because we have so many that aren't new. This way we don't take up too much time every single week going over this. So I'm working on getting a training together on the content map because I think the content map is here to stay. I didn't want to do a full training on it yet and put it into Limitless because I was like, if we're not going to even really, if Rochelle and I aren't vibing the content maps and that's not the way we're going to plan, I don't want to have a training, we don't want to have a training on that. But this is the content map. This is what it looks like. And you can kind of see, here is the content map. The headers are focused IPAs, your posting topics, and your story focus. So on a piece of paper, if you don't even have this, Monday through Sunday, have a column for focused IPA, have a column for posting topic, and have a column for story focus. Now, the perfect thing to have with you right now is your fives list. So y'all bust out your fives list and bust out your pain points, right? Fives list, pain points. If you didn't update that for the month, update that, okay? So sometimes I will keep the same pain points and fives list for months in a row. And sometimes I update it and change it. So this month, I already kind of know where I'm going, but I'm going to tweak it a little bit when we change, when we go into our block for planning. So your fives list and your about me. So if you are in Limitless, you can actually search for the content map and get a, like, what do you call it? Like a pre-one already done, like a sample, and you can work off of that for now. And it's okay if you want to continue to work off of that one for now until you find your own, like, this is how I want a content map. This is how I want to plan. So some topics are, and you guys write some topics in the chat to help other people out, right? So if you are going by just a sample one, just write what one's your favorite one, especially, I'm sorry, I got to grab my dog before he runs away. Hold, please. Come on. If y'all don't know, my dog is famous for just like taking off if you don't pay him enough attention. So he was at the door asking to come in and then he was like staring at me and I wasn't going. So he like went off the porch. I'm like, oh God, this is going to be bad. Started to sweat. Okay. So anyways, drop some topics that you love in the chat to help out some of our new babes, or maybe if somebody is struggling with their content map or they're ready to change up their content map, what are some things that you have on your content map that you love? Like a generic thing, like Mondays before Thrive. These are some of the ones on the sample. Rochelle, you can pop into after. Weekly pay, pick a comp plan fives, pick a product fives. Why do you love Thrive? How did the products make you feel? Maybe about your why, maybe about your goals for this month or your goals for 2023. Maybe start talking about 2023 right now because that's where we're going, right? We're going into 2023. So those are some topics. And then when we sit and we time block to plan the content, That is when you're going to grab your fives list and your about me and your pain points and decide what you really want to talk about. Start to dig deep. Michelle.
No, I pretty much had all of those. The only things that I also have on mine that you did not mention is one day I'm talking like Thursdays. I like to talk about being a present mom. So I'll just share different stories and things of, times pre-Thrive when I didn't have the energy to, go out and do things with my kids. And now I do. Or I can talk about being present in the sense of like I was working 2 full-time jobs outside of my house and now I'm home full-time, have been for like over 2 years, that sort of thing. I've got like an energy and motivation day, and yeah, that's it. Basically, it's just picking like comp plan fives, product fives, your why, stuff like that, and just like digging below the surface and sharing stories based around those things. But yes, I hope that makes sense to everybody. I don't know how many people actually use the content map. I know for me, ever since it came out, I've been pretty religious with using it. And I really, really like it because it gives me like, I'm somebody who like, I thrive off of routine and like structure. And so like, I'm making my December content map right now. And this is something that will not change throughout the entire month of December. I will keep this all 31 days, I think there are. It doesn't change. So it takes like the guesswork out of, what I'm posting each week. And all I have to do is pop down. I'm like, okay, today, like I'm sharing about my why. That's easy. I could talk about my why all day. So super helpful. If you are not using it, definitely recommend giving it a try this month.
Yeah. So you guys, like I said, I already told you what the content map looks like. So if for some reason you can't grab the content map, just write your own out, right? It's really that simple. Just Monday through Sunday, focused IPA, your posting topic and your story focus. You can do it right on a piece of paper. Honestly, you guys, like I a lot of times do, like I have one printed out, but I do a lot on paper because then I can scribble and do all my things with it. So we're going to go ahead and time block for the next like 10, 15 minutes. We do a long time block here, you guys, because this is where your bulk planning is. I want you to figure out what your posting is going to look like. I want you to look at your IPAs and decide what focused IPAs. So that's your 3-2-1 story interactions, cleaning up your network. I will tell you guys right now, I'm on a cleaning up of my network. The last week, every time I log into my Instagram, I feel yuck. I'm not excited to interact with the people. Not anything against. There's some people that really excite me, and there's some people that I'm just like, you know what? I just don't vibe. We're not vibing, right? So here is the thing, you guys, your social medias, regardless of them being your business and your job, they are a reflection of what comes into your life. They are a reflection of the energy that comes into your life, of all that kind of stuff. So if it is not bringing you the energy that you want, go find the energy that you want. Go find the people that you want to be around. I don't base my people just off of my fives. I have so many moms on my thing that bring me so much joy and happiness. I'm not a mom, right? So I'm a dog mom. They may not even have animals. I don't base it off of my fives, my branding fives. I just go find people who light up my life and light up my Instagram where I get excited to go and talk to them. And that is something that Sam said on one of her work with me's, and it has stuck with me. So every time I start to feel, I'm like, see, I hear Sam, I got Taylor Swift playing over here. I got Sam right here. And I hear her saying to me, go clean up your network, go find your people, right? So if you are starting to feel that resistance with your IPAs, like I just am not excited to go and do interactions or things like that, chances are you just need to go find the right people. Maybe you need to do a little cleanup because maybe it's not 17 people. Maybe it's only 2 people that somehow keep getting into your algorithm and they just weigh you down and you don't even really realize it, you guys. People's energies are contagious. You can feel it through a screen. You can feel it through so many things. So just sometimes you need to change it up, and that is okay. Mute them if you can't unfollow them. Maybe they're family, maybe they're a friend, maybe there's something, maybe they trigger you. Maybe somebody's content triggers you. If you guys did not watch, I think it was last Sunday with Em and Lindsay, when they talked about watching other thrivers and watching even other people in the network marketing space, that if you're going to be in comparison and you're going to be so consumed by them writing their story that you're not even writing your own, you need to unfollow. you need to mute, right? That was so huge when Em was saying, Em had so many, Lindsay as well, always. Em had so many new topics on this, right? We hear Lindsay talk about this kind of stuff a lot. So it was great to hear Em's perspective on that kind of stuff. So go watch that. So, all right, you guys, we're going to mute ourselves. Make sure you peel back that onion, right? I thought Rochelle was going to give us the onion analogy. It's been a couple weeks, you know?
No,
Uh,
purposely skipped over that. I do want to add though, guys, while you're planning right now, make sure you're planning in like your personal life too, because obviously like you have to have like a balance of both, and you can't like you're setting yourself up for failure if you don't know what you have going on in your personal life, especially being December. It's like one of the busiest months of the year, right? We got like Christmas concerts, Christmas parties, like all of these different things, like extracurricular activities. I know we have some servers on here or people who have jobs where like their hours switch up every week. So like put out like write down what your hours are this week. What do you have for extracurricular activities? What do you have for appointments? Like the first thing that I do when I plan my week is I put in my personal life, because those are things that like I can't change, right? Like I don't have a lot of control over those things, but I do have control over my business and when I work it. So I put down my personal life, and then I see where I can fit in like my Thrive like meetings and my, office hours, as I call them, and different things like that. So just make sure you're clear on what you've got going on in your personal life, and then sprinkle your Thrive into there.
Another reason why you guys, it is good to be careful what you're letting in is because also when, let's say you're mapping out right now and you're planning when you're going to talk about trial packs and your stories and what things are going to look like, and all of a sudden you're watching another Thriver and you see that they are offering trial packs, but you're not offering trial packs for 2 more days because that's how you've mapped things out. But then all of a sudden later that day, you see that they enrolled a customer. So then you think, oh my gosh, I should be offering trial packs because I want PPA numbers. I want to enroll. So then all of a sudden you're no longer looking at your content map and everything that you mapped out. And all of a sudden you're trying to match that person's energy of what they're trying to talk about when it doesn't really match what you wanted to talk about this week or how you're leading into things. Right? Like, I don't know about you, but I lead into my trial packs. I lead into the things. So if all of a sudden then I'm like trying to match that person because I see their enrollments are so high, so I feel like I need to be doing things exactly how they're doing things, I've lost me. My network has lost me in it. So do you see why it's so important, you guys, when you are planning out your map, why Rochelle and I give you 15 minutes or give you just free reign, give you ideas and allow you to put you into your content map, because then your network is getting you. That is who they are going to get the trial pack from, because they have learned to trust you. That is who they're going to enroll with because they have gotten to trust your story. So do you see how important you are in all of this? Like, I hope you guys realize how powerful you are. That's all I got for that. But I just wanted to say that because when you are planning, it is so important to trust yourself. You each have a story that somebody needs to hear. Y'all are doing a dang good job. Stop looking around, stay in your lane, and keep being you. Find what works for you. You want to try something new this week with your content map? Try it. Try it, right? If you guys haven't checked the chat, that's a really good point. You guys, Thrive Elite is coming. Andrea asked, how are y'all planning with Elite? Are you talking about that every day? And then Rochelle mentioned that she's talking about it every other day. I love that. If you guys have some tips or tricks of how you're going to implement Thrive Elite, drop it in the chat so that everybody can kind of maybe get some ideas from one another, and so on. Yes, Emma, I'm just gonna read it. I'm struggling with staying in my lane too. Good point to remove other thrivers or any network marketers that make you compare, right? I have a ton of network marketers. I love interacting with other network marketers. You guys, I have a ton of people, other network marketers that become customers. But if they are going to keep me from staying in my lane and running for what I am here for, then maybe you need to reevaluate that relationship online. So I'm going to drop in the chat all of the background work that we talk about, or maybe whatever background work that you have that you feel necessary for your business. Scheduling those one-on-ones are key things too, you guys. If you don't get on a one-on-one with your leader, you need to, right? And maybe your leader isn't here anymore, or maybe they don't offer them, then reach up one more, right? Go to your 40K leader, your 80K leader, your 12K leader, whoever is there that will give you that one-on-one that you need. I still, 4 years in this business, you guys, I still do one-on-ones with Lindsay. Okay. Like she's my person. I'm personally enrolled to her. I still do one-on-ones with her. So I don't shy away from getting that one-on-one of, figuring out what I need to work on or what I need help with or what wisdom I need from her. And I get that from her. And I will even go into my one-on-one saying, hey, this is what I'm struggling with on my one-on-one. Can you help me with that? Right? Don't be embarrassed by whatever you're struggling with, even if you think it's something you should know how to do. This last month, I had her help me plan goals. You guys, I've been here 4 years. I lead the planning Zoom. And I said, Linz, I need you to help me with my goal planning because there's some type of disconnect for me. So can you help me unlock something? Because somehow I got into a mindset block with it, right? It's okay to admit. So these are the things that you guys should be planning into your business. So we'll kind of keep planning for the next few minutes. I want you to plan these in. And you guys, it is so important. And I will say and be the first to say, these are the first things that I let slip in my business when I'm having bad weeks, when my mental thing isn't there, when I'm just like, oh man, I need a moment. The first thing I do is I let these slip. These are the backbone to your business. They truly are, you guys. When you're taking care of your customers, when you're following up, when you're creating the new content, when you're getting on those work with me Zooms, when you're getting on the other Zooms, Zooms to help pour into you and things like that. When you're getting on all of those other things, the other parts of your business will flow too. And I know it's like, well, you can't, it's like one of those things, you can't have your cake and eat it too type thing, It truly isn't. This is the whole cake. What we're doing with the planning, your focused IPAs, your stories, your posting, and having this background work in there too. So important. I'm just going to address the chat just because I know the replay viewers can't read this. So, and somebody might need to hear this too. So Sam put, I think that we get to a point where we think we don't need help and it's the biggest disservice we do to ourselves. Absolutely. Kelly said, I feel like I'm struggling with so much that I don't even know where to start. Brain dump it, Kelly. Brain dump. What are you struggling with? And some of the things may piece together. And some of the things you may be able to be like, okay, like those actually go together. And then your enroller or whomever it is that you enrolled with can help you. Or go to them and say, I'm struggling and I don't even know where to start. Like I don't even know where to start. I put a pen to a paper and nothing comes down. So can you help me? And they may be able to ask you some questions that trigger what you may need help with. Right.
Christina and I were just talking about this too, because I feel like a lot of times when we struggle, it comes from a place where we're trying to do a million different things at once. We're trying to wear all these hats. We're looking at this leader and that leader and this person over here. And like, she's posting twice a day and her enrollments are crazy. Like, I want her enrollment, so I need to try to post twice a day. Or like, she's over here doing this and like, I need to do that. So you're trying to do too many things. And I think something that's important to remember is what works for Christina might not work for me. right? What works for Allison might not work for Christina. Like it's all the way across the board. You have to find what works for you. So if you're trying to keep up with the Joneses and you're trying to do like 3 posts a day and all these things, but it's not maintainable for you. It's not like, it's not, you're forcing it, right? So that stuff, it's not coming across authentic, and your audience feels that and you feel that. And that's the quickest way to like burn out, you guys, and to take like the fun out of your business. This is supposed to be fun. But when you try so hard to keep up with everybody else and what's working for them, you lose the fun, you burn yourself out. And instead of enrolling like they are, what you had for enrollments goes down. You, at the end of the day, you have to look at your life, right? Because what you have going on is different than what Christina has going on, is different than what I have going on. We all have different things going on all the time. Find what works for you and your schedule and what feels right and what feels authentic and what's fun for you, and do that. Stop trying to do what everybody else is doing and just do what works for you.
I'm so happy we addressed this because I feel like the chat is kind of blowing up, and I think a lot of people are going through this. And Rochelle and I always laugh because when like we're either in season or like she's just out of a season that I'm stepping into, or vice versa. And I feel like this is also like y'all are going through it too. That's why you guys know Rochelle and I always leave the chat open for question and answers as well, or allow this to also be a Q&A, because we don't ever want you to feel like you are alone, or that you're walking through a season that maybe we haven't walked through, or we may be currently walking through, right? You guys, like, not everybody is always on their stories or their Instagram or whatever it is, sharing the things that they're struggling with. They're behind the scenes trying to figure it out and work through that. So don't ever feel like just because you see someone showing up and doing all this, that they aren't going through a season that maybe they're trying to figure out their next steps, or they're trying to figure out where they're going, and so on and so forth. So just keep that in mind. So if you guys do have any questions, please ask them, right? Ask them in the chat. We have like, how many people on here today? We have 33 people on here today. The chat is blowing up. People are helping each other out. Rochelle and I are here to help y'all. Like, that is community. That is what we are. That is when we stress community. This is what we mean. So if you're going through your week and you're struggling and you feel alone, then you've taken the part of the community that we've built out of it. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you. We're here to rally together. We're here to say, hey, I got you. And it's okay if you need to reach to a sideline. Maybe you're just like, hey, I need some of I need some of you today. I know I'm not in your downline, but can you help me? Rochelle and I are sideline sisters. Do you know how many times I go to Rochelle and I'm like, girl, like, I know you have a massive team, but I need like 10 seconds of Rochelleisms right now, because I need what I need from you. Like, I know you can offer me what I need here, right? Same with Sam. Like, I go to Sam about things, or I'll hop on work with me's of other leaders, because guess what? They sometimes speak exactly what I need. That is why it is so important to get on those work with me's. Right? It is so important to get on those work with me's. It is so important to get on the trainings, y'all, because sometimes exactly what you need to hear, you didn't know you needed it, but it's about to be said. Last Sunday, I wasn't going to get on. And then I was like, found myself, dinner was done. I was like, okay, I'm going to pop on. And it was exactly what I needed to hear, but I didn't know I needed to hear it until I heard it. Sometimes that happens too. And you don't need permission to take a day off social to recoup. Yes. Thank you. You don't need any permission, you guys. If you need a moment, take a moment. If you need to unplug, right? If you need to just go pop in your stories, you do your 3 steps, you couple things, you do your post up for the day, and then you're like, I need the rest of the day off, take it till the next 24 hours later. Or maybe you're out from your social media for 24 hours because that's what you need. Em said that last week. Sometimes when you're consuming too much, you can't find you. So you need to stop consuming so you can find your way. She says it much more finesse, but that's my way of it. Okay. So sometimes you need to do that. And the thing is, you guys, that will be the biggest blessing for your business and for you. When sometimes when you're trying to push through, it's not. So plan that. If you need a plan a day, plan it. Guess what, you guys? I planned it. You come and see my planner right here. I have a day that says unplug. If you want to post, post. If you don't, unplug. And I planned it. So that day is up to me. And do you know how good that felt? I planned that. I have a busy week, a busy weekend. I planned it in, right? Plan it in. So let's go ahead and take just a couple more minutes to plan out whatever we need to before we go into batching. We'll batch starting 11:15-ish. We'll go into batching. So look at your planner right now. Make sure you got your focused IPAs. You got your stories, what you want them to look like. You have your post ready and you have your background work. Maybe you don't have your background work plugged in, but have that background work written down and maybe put 15 minutes background work and time block that in, right? Wherever you need to. So we're going to go ahead, just wrap up whatever we need, and then we will start batching. Last thing, you guys, before we head into batching, I want you guys to define your non-negotiable IPAs for your business. Okay. Something Rochelle and I talked about this past week is defining your IPA non-negotiables. Okay. Maybe it is the whole list. Maybe it's certain things. Maybe your non-negotiable for interactions are doing story interactions. You're really not big on the feed or whatever the case may be, or it's the feed on Facebook, but it's stories over here. What are your non-negotiables for your IPAs for your business? And I want you to set those and then start tracking the results that it's getting you, right? So then you can decide, hey, maybe I need to tweak this, or maybe I need to add in that, or so on and so forth. But if you're doing the non-negotiables for you that make your heart happy, that make you excited to work your business, you're going to go and work your business more. If you're trying to do something like Rochelle said that maybe works for her, but I can't find like it to work for me, guess what? I'm going to become resistant to it. And then I'm going to be doing it, not seeing results. And then I'm going to be like, I don't want to do it. Right? Because it's like, maybe it doesn't work for me, but then I tweak it and I'm like, I take her inspired IPA and I make it my own. And all of a sudden I'm like, yes, I love getting on my phone and doing my IPA because I made it me, right? That's what we're talking about too, you guys. Some of these things that you hear from people or leaders, take it as an inspired action and make it your own and then move forward with it. So that's kind of what I wanted to add on that last thing. And then Rochelle, if you want to, let's batch.
We good to go into batching? All right. Let's do, gosh, I haven't done this in forever. How many minutes? 4, 5, 5, 4?
We could do 4,
Okay.
then we can
I
get
feel
a
like
few
4
in.
is a good number. All right. So take out your content map, your planner, whatever you have. Now for me, when I'm going through and doing these, like there are certain days where I don't necessarily pre-plan my post because I like it to come from the heart. So for example, payday for me is one of those days where I don't even post that day until my pay hits. And then whatever I'm feeling in that moment, that's what I just kind of like free write and post in the moment. So for me, I skip over Tuesdays when we're planning, but I'm going to start on Monday. Monday, my posting topic is pre-thrive. So right now, if I don't know exactly what I want to put into a post, because it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes I have like a million different ideas in my head and I don't know which one I want to settle with. During these next 4 minutes, I'll just kind of like do like bullet points, just different like brain dump, right? Like different ideas, or like I'll start to type out a caption, and wherever I kind of hit like a roadblock with it, I just stop. I don't force myself to finish it A to Z right now, but I do try to get something down. So I'm going to start on Monday, whatever day, I would recommend just kind of going right down the line, especially because Monday is tomorrow. So let's start with Monday and just kind of free write for the next 4 minutes. And yes, go ahead and put what your posting topic is in the chat. All right, there goes the timer on that one. So now let's move on to the next one. Again, I'm skipping over Tuesday, so I'm gonna go down to Wednesday, which for me is pick a comp plan 5. So I'm gonna pull out, well, I'm not gonna pull out, I have it next to me. I have my 5s list, so I'm gonna pick a 5, and then I have my pain points list, and I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna look at my different pain points that are under my business, and I'm just going to tell a story based off of that. All right, that one just went off. Let's go ahead and do one more, and then we will let you guys go for the day. All right, the timer's about to go off on that one. Christina, do you have anything that you want to add before we close this up, or what you think?
No, I don't know about you guys, but I was like really into my content today. I felt so connected to my content. I was like over here, just like when you just said my name, I was like, wait, what? Where am I? Hey, I don't have anything else for you guys today. Rochelle, if you want to close it out with anything.
I feel like we put some good stuff out there, and we should just leave it at that.
All right, you guys. So she'll get Rochelle will have it on her channel today. She'll get that uploaded, and then I'm sure she'll put it in the chats and things like that. But make sure you keep an eye on that. And we will see you guys next week for the planning start. You guys, I hope you have the most wonderful, wonderful first week of December, and make sure that you stick to your plans so that you can also stay present when you're with your family, right? You guys, this is a big time with the holidays and everything, like Rochelle said. Make sure that you carve out that time. I guess I did have something to say. Make sure that you carve out that work time so that when you are present with your family, you're present. Disconnect, right? When you're working, be all in on your work. And when you're with your family or doing whatever you need to do, be all in on that, right? Honestly, I know it might be easier said than done, but I promise you, when you start to separate and start to do that, your business will get the best of you and your family is going to get the best of you. So I hope you guys all have an amazing week, and we will see you next time.
Bye, guys.